Trump card's smoldering rhetorical contempt for multilateralism, public diplomacy, mistrust of trading deals and obvious race and sectarian prejudices include modified the type of behavior the planet expects of a U.S. CEO. Trump card maintains how his management is cleaning up a world chaos he legacy, and America is creature respectable once again overseas. Operating on a credentials, but no one should be amazed how Trump card is operating on which he believes is a credentials of us voters. Of the time on, his departure to be America at first, the CEO told. The cradle of his overseas politics were law down there in the speaking, as he colored a image of a planet how had operated us liberality, torn off U.S. firms and workers and was suppurative in drastic Muslim extremist. Every judgment flew in the person of world unanimity and the top consultation of overseas politics elites at household. Frequently, overseas politics decisions seemed to be reasoned more than by a wish to happy the 35% or so of Americans who write Trump card's basis and hug his narrative nationism rather than of any feeling of length-range overseas politics policy. Trump card's ardent temper, consisting frivolous comments on the opportunity of nuke warfare, destroyed conventions steering how presidents usually say and attract in the planet and include stoked fears on his willingness to conduct in the occasion of a hazardous world meltdown. Anxiety, hoax portion of the issue is how he's frequently hard to job out precisely which U.S. overseas politics is on lot issues. Later down there is the politics written out in Trump card's blasting tweets how include rebuked overseas leaders, filled oil on susceptible tactful talks and stored his own subordinates in link, as while he said Tillerson the registrar of country was ruinous his period by hard to conduct negotiations in polar Korea above the nuke meltdown. Still, as ever in Trump card, down there is a trend for the sound and havoc he creates to tread cold analyze. Several overseas politics experts say his productivity is in reality more than skilled rather than he makes it see. It is precise how CEO Trump card is heterodox. It is precise how he is unpleasant in several ways, but has he got results? In lot ways he has, Mendoza told. Mendoza told Trump card's blood pressure emerging to include induced Europe leaders to up war conducting, and he praised the CEO for enhancing a red link versus the use of chemistry arms in Syria in war activity, in comparison with Obama. He told Trump card's attitude has convinced polar Korea how the CEO is severe on capacity war activity, and may include induced its tactful coverage to the southward. Down there is a lot of attention on the method of how the Trump card authority conducts its politics, and far less than pay to the results of which is event. He's just 1 year in, but we include seen several favorable signs, he added. Force change yet. Down there is horror in lot components of the planet on Trump card's attitude. In Asia, U.S. friends worry about how his departure of the Trans-Pacific Association trading transactions has ceded the initial part in written the rules of an enormous piece of the world economics to China. In the Medium East, the Trump card authority has had maybe its big overseas politics successful, in the destruction of ISIS in Syria, although by transport out a schedule initiated by the Obama authority. Trump card has restored U.S. relations in Saudi Arabia and is receiving a more than confrontational position in the direction Iran's provincial ambitions rather than the early whites building. But his judgment to go the U.S. legation in Israel could include annihilated the Medium East world trial. Europe leaders include tested different approaches to transactions in Trump card but include found how his behavior and rhetorical include put them in hard policy official position. Deutsche Chancellor Angela Merkel lectured Trump card on liberty, humane rights and race toleration in her complimentary communication following his poll gain. Following observer Trump card scold comrade NATO leaders in Brussels in May, she offered to Germans how Europe could no much longer trust on the US to ever be down there, proverb they very must get our destiny in our own hands. Lot of the planet is examining such questions following the at first year of Trump card's chairmanship, wonder if he will prosper in a basic reorder of the US part in the planet and which how rotate inside will indicate for the otherwise of the world framework. Alan Gingell, domestic CEO of the Australia Institution of World Sphere, says the depleting of the country division by a registrar of country who seems indifferent in its mission statement, adds to signs how the US is refusing the box of world public diplomacy, for example, in its withdrawals of the Paris transactions and UNESCO. No question a more than known kind of us by the government will get office space in 3 or 7 years, but the joint state has been radically changed by the expertise, Gingle told. Same top water mark of us permissive internationalism has gone.